Hello, friends, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Throwdown for the week of May 8th, 2022. I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams, along with our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury, and our in-studio editor, Big Bad John.
No, I want to clarify that. He's my he's my in-studio assistant. So he's like all the good assistants. He's going to learn how to do more of the work than me.
That's how that works.
Well, that's not going to be hard. First and foremost, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We certainly appreciate you taking your time to tune in with us while you got your chitlins running around, if you have chitlins. If you don't have chitlins, if you're thinking about having chitlins, call me. No, that's a joke. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Luke, how's your Sunday?
It's day after Saturday.
Well, that's fair.
It's also
What day is it?
the very first point race day.
Yes, it is, baby.
We're on our road to WrestleMania. Point sign. Point sign.
There's going to be a graphic for that.
Oh, wait,
next
we
week.
got to look at each other. Then look at the sign. Then look at each other. Then point. Then look back at each other. Then clap hands. There you go. That's how it should be done on TV all the time.
Max, how's your Sunday?
He's mad because we left him out of the sign play.
My Sunday's good. I'm a little exhausted. It was a really long week. I was involved in a golf competition, but it's weird because I'm a hockey player. And,
oh my Lord!
Yeah, I had to take my grandma's house and I came across this guy. His name was Chubbs. Actually, his name was Bubba, but he called himself Chubbs. He wasn't the actual Chubbs that you're thinking of. He was a different Chubbs. He just called himself Chubbs. I'm
really uncomfortable with the amount of times he said Chubbs.
All right, I've gone far enough.
You know, speaking of golf, I have this.
I bet he's happy though.
Speaking of golf, I have this really, really good strawberry lemonade vodka that I mix with sweet tea. It's not quite an Arnold Palmer, but every Friday I drop a Percocet in it and have a Tiger Woods.
Anyway, yeah.
That's a golf joke, kids.
Thank you for joining us on Pro Wrestling Throwdown.
Big Bad John, how was your Sunday, sir?
Oh, it's going great. Having a fun time. Ready for all.
Ready for the show. Well, my Sunday's going well as well. And we have a little bit of
You know,
news.
I just noticed you always ask us how our week's going, but we never ask you how yours is
I've
going.
pointed that out. It's fine. It's fine.
I gave a shit once, but then I lost it.
You should have flushed it. I don't know what you're doing carrying it around.
Well, I gave it. Once I give a shit, that's your fucking problem.
That's my shit?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not my chicken's not my farm anymore.
Not your chicken's not your shit. And that's how you make chicken salad.
That's right.
All right. So we got a little bit to go over in the news today. This episode's not going to be as long as our previous episode. It's Mother's Day. There's obvious celebrations and family dinners and blah, blah, blah. Most of you folks have to get to. I'm absolved of that responsibility for all future endeavors. I get to make one. Anyway.
I gave her one.
So we got news. We got to talk Backlash, in which the points are up for grabs.
Uh-huh.
We've got some of Max's crazy headlines going on.
I got a few.
And next week, we're going to start our new editing software, hopefully. So you guys are going to see, like we talked about before, a couple of changes in the program. We're going to have some graphics, hopefully, some sound bites.
All because I have a great assistant.
He's not your assistant.
He is.
He's the in-studio editor.
He is my production
assistant. And you
assistant.
put some respect on his name.
He is my production assistant.
All right, when he eats you, it's no longer my problem.
That's right.
All right, let's get right into the nitty-gritty.
Can we get a fact check? Yeah, it's a fact.
That's a fact. Well played. I guess one of the bigger stories we have to talk about and get it out of the way, because it's one of the negative stories reflecting our great sport.
All right. Can I take this one?
Absolutely.
All right. See, the biggest headline, most upsetting thing for me is this shit. Where did the fucking goatee go,
I shaved
bruh?
the goatee. I'm sorry. This time. We'll be working on it. Happy Mother's Day to you as well.
Mother's Day.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay. Sorry. Anyway, the big news story, one of the big news stories we got to cover this week.
Caleb, he's not bull. Max will be safe.
Is the arrest.
Tell him you said that, Coletta.
The arrest of formerly Sonny, known as Tammy Sitch.
Oh, you mean the train wreck that is Tammy Sitch?
Man.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So, Tammy Sitch is being, she was being held with bond, but she bonded out.
Yes.
For vehicular manslaughter.
Yes.
as well as 6 different other charges.
Yeah, including
Vehicular manslaughter.
DUI,
The
DWI.
relevancy for those that don't know, explain who Tammy Sitch is.
Tammy Sitch was Sunny. She was genuinely a relatively large personaed female wrestler from the 1990s and early 2000s.
Tammy Lynn Cinch got her start in Smoky Mountain Wrestling with her
Under the
then
tutelage of
boyfriend, Chris Candido.
Under the tutelage of the one James E. Cornette.
Moved to ECW, did some things there before jumping to WWE and mainstream as Skip and Sonny as the Body Donnas with Chris Candido. When Chris Candido left, of course, Sonny stayed. Sonny was the very first year the internet was up and running. She was the #1 most downloaded woman on the internet of that year. #1.
She fell into...
Also the first person to turn Playboy down.
Yes. Also, there were a number, outside of the positives, a number of scandals involving her and other WWE superstars, most prominently Shawn Michaels during his Lake Havasu days.
Bret Hart.
Numerous accounts of, we'll just say, relationship issues. Unfortunately, fell to a number of addictions.
Being passed around like a box of Kleenexes at a wedding.
Yeah. Or a pad of wrestling tape at a wrestling show.
Yeah.
Which gets a lot more traction.
Then, of course, cleaned up her act after having some law troubles.
Yeah.
Entered the WWE Hall of Fame in 2014.
Yeah. Which was actually genuinely like a real comeback story. She got clean. She was working for a number of women's charities. She was doing a ton of independence for women's wrestling. She genuinely rose to the occasion, overcame the adversity.
And then she got busted with yet drugs and another DUI, followed by a porn stint.
Yeah.
In the adult film industry. She did a video.
Which isn't a judgment at all.
No. Hey, get your money however you get your money, boo-boo.
Yeah.
But then, of course, with the latest troubles of the dude suing her for something on OnlyFans. By the way, she posted a $227,500 bond. So she's no longer in jail. She's out on bond. $227,500.
Oh, she makes money with her content. That's not a ruse.
Well, but here's the deal. A lot of people like that, though, also with her struggles with drugs and alcohol. It's kind of shocking to me that she would have $227,000 just laying around.
There were probably some beneficial prospects in that regard. Either way, Sonny quickly succumbed to a number of addictions, which are followed by a number of arrests, including DUIs multiple times. And tragically, last month was involved in a DUI-driven accident that took a man's life. She went off the radar for the last month. She was finally arrested yesterday or the day before and made bond. She's being charged with vehicular manslaughter and can face up to 30 years in prison with a 4-year prison minimum sentence.
Yeah.
Honestly, and this is going to be a quick deviance from the wrestling thing here. Nobody understands addiction and the issues they cause more so than the guy sitting in this room. That's not hyperbole.
No, that's fact.
That's a fact. There's not a lack of empathy whenever I say this. Again, I'm not getting into my personal history, my familial history, whatever.
Those of you who know.
I don't say this without empathy. I don't say this without consideration for her problems. She absolutely deserves to face trial for what she's done.
Accountability.
She killed a man. That's not
It's
something
not
you just get.
It's not hearsay.
It's not hearsay. It's not a joke. It's not something. Yeah, she got a little drunk and wrecked her car. Oh my God, she was out with the girls. Blah blah blah. No, a dude died because of her irresponsible decisions.
Not only was that as a hit and run as well. So
she didn't even stay to take responsibility for it. And then the only reason we're even entertaining this conversation is because she was a wrestler and because it's relevant to our business. Otherwise, this wouldn't be getting any airtime on this program.
Now we're going to switch it up for a second here, real quick. We've said pretty much all I really want to talk about, Sonny. I'm going to speak now from the heart. I know we don't normally do the promotion kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is we have not been paid.
Nope.
Or anything to do what I'm going to do. But I was on the internet the other night, and I come across the GoFundMe for Mickey Knuckles.
Yes.
Mickey Knuckles is fallen upon hard times.
As we all do.
She's fighting for custody of her children.
Yeah.
and needs
After an arduous divorce.
and needs help.
Yeah.
I don't have the link. I'll post it on Pro
Or
Wrestling
Facebook.
Throwdown,
Yeah, check it out.
Facebook and stuff. If you have something to give, or you know somebody who can help out in any form of way with this, please do.
Yeah.
Mickey Knuckles is one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, and she deserves.
She's also a pioneer of our sport and one of the most adamant professionals
around.
Yeah, definitely. If you can help, do so.
But yeah, I'll post a link.
Contribute.
For that.
I won't say help because it's not a charity. If you can contribute,
yes, please.
Please do so.
It's a mom who's fighting for custody of her children.
And
on Mother's Day, what more?
Yeah, what better story
way
than there is that?
But hit up the GoFundMe and help Mickey, and if you're doing one good thing this year, make that it.
Yeah, man.
One of the best human beings and professional wrestlers I've ever met.
100% agreed.
Fun
fact, Mickey Knuckles actually gave me my very first gimmick in professional wrestling. My very first one ever. When I was 14 years old at an IWA Mid-South show where I got to give the wrestlers gum. And from then on, every time they came to town, I was the gum kid.
Uh-huh.
And everybody knew it. And I took 45 packs of gum to every show. You remember.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, outside of the sadder stuff, outside of the sappy stuff, let's get into some of the meat and potatoes in the wrestling world.
All right.
One of the big deals is that the NJPW AEW cross-promotional pay-per-view called The Forbidden Door sold out in a 10,000-plus arena in Chicago, sold out the first 7,000 apparent release tickets in 45 minutes.
46.
The next day, they sold out the remaining 3,000 tickets in less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, regardless
and
of
no card. There's no card announced.
Regardless of what anybody says, wrestling fans are interested in this cross-promotional battle.
Yes.
We talked about it a little bit before. Some of the matches we laid out, the possibilities. The big thing about it is that it's introducing NJPW, one of the most prominent Japanese professional wrestling companies in the history of our business, to an American audience who, A, either already are aware and are excited about it,
yes,
or B, curious, have never really seen it, but are going to watch it anyway. Regardless, that arena is packed to capacity already, and there's not been one match posted for it.
Yes. Going to be a great show regardless, I think. Just the nostalgia and the fact that something like this hasn't been done in quite some time.
Not since 1993, World War III, when it was cross-promotional.
When Worlds Collide.
Yeah, when Worlds Collide, sorry.
The one that had Ray, the six-man tag and all that. Yeah, which was great. And
Triple
you can
A
find
versus
that.
WCW.
You can find that on the network.
Yep.
For the low price of
whatever it was,
$9.99.
Yeah. I forgot those promotional plugs we used to do.
Actually, that only works for half the other world that's watching right now in the U.S. You have to have the Peacock, and it only costs $7.99. So, neater.
That's right. I get that and The Office, except I hate The Office. I watch it.
Yeah, but he watches Friends. Disgusting.
I just now. Whoa, partner.
Fucking disgusting.
I just now started.
Pivot. Sorry.
Thank you all for tuning in to Pro Wrestling Throwdown. My name is Caleb Black. Have a great day. No. Some of the other news. Impact last night aired their.
I scared the hell out of that person walking down the street.
What was the name of their pay-per-view? Was Last Night Under Siege?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Your main event, Josh Alexander retained the Impact Heavyweight Championship.
Title.
Ace Austin.
Yes.
Retained
the X Division Championship.
The AAA runs. I can't ever pronounce the women's title's name. The Reigns, whatever AAA Women's Championship title.
Oh yeah.
Was retained by Taya Valkyrie.
Yes. After she took it off of Deonna Purrazzo at Triple Mania.
Yep.
Night one.
And the biggest real story in my mind coming out of that was them boys.
Yeah, buddy.
The Briscoes go to Impact and win the Impact Tag Team Championships, which is basically Impact's way of saying, thanks, Tony, for not signing the Briscoes so we can. Appreciate it.
We know what to do with this.
Yes.
But it does add an interesting element after AEW gets their Ring of Honor deal up and running, whether or not them boys are going to go back to Ring of Honor as Impact champions or if they're going to stick with Impact.
It's almost like the indies are being televised.
I'm telling you, man, it's really cool.
Where like one guy from the company two towns over comes in and is now wrestling with the champion of one that's 3 towns over, wrestling 4 towns away from that championship.
Yeah,
You've got one show with 12 people's champions wrestling each other.
It's like, what was it, WrestleMania Night 2 that featured the WWF title, the NWA World title, maybe the USWA title was on that show.
Yep.
But a bunch of different champions. It's a really cool time. The Briscoes, as Impact champions, having lost the Ring of Honor titles to FTR. Hey, man, who's to say there isn't another rematch? And FTR pads that third crease with the Impact Tag Team
KB
titles,
Chaser was a name, not his first gimmick.
Correct. I ate KB Chaser.
He did. He's
dead now.
He's right there.
He's ruined.
That's a nipple. Sorry, it's right here.
Yeah,
that looks wrong. I'm not going to do that either. We'll just pat you on the head and going about what
not
we're
that
doing.
kind of show. They got to pay for that. Check out my OnlyFans. I'm
Sorry.
kidding.
I just offended everybody in one motion.
You'll be all right.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Those people in India are pissed.
Oh my God.
They are. They're pissed right now.
Uh,
Look at him with his long hair and beard. He's not
That's
even
right.
Indian.
Yeah. All right. So, do we have any other major news happening in the wrestling world today?
The Owen Hart tournament started.
Yes. Do you want me to name out the brackets of the Owen Hart tournaments? Hold on.
Not really. I care
All right,
less.
well,
honestly.
then never mind.
We know there's two Jokers.
Yes, there's a Joker in both the men and the women's.
The best part of the Joker thing, yes, if you want to bring up the men's tournament, we'll
okay.
talk about the men's tournament. The women's tournament, I'm a little more unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
So I don't want to. If you can bring that up too, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll do the men's first.
But the thing about the men's tournament that interests me the most is that Samoa Joe is going to wrestle the Joker.
Correct.
And the Joker is being rumored to be Cesaro.
Yes, and as we've covered, previously, Samoa Joe and Cesaro building the gimmick, their storied, legitimate heat with each other. Whether or not it's legitimate from our
Also,
perspective.
they're the two biggest names in Ring of Honor history that the WWE did jack all
That
with.
is correct.
Neither one of them were pushed.
Where?
Cesaro's push with Roman Reigns, even though he didn't take the title, should have been a 4-month program.
Yes. Hold on.
And it killed it
Let's
in a
bracket.
single
There we
month.
go. The other thing worth mentioning about the men's bracket, which I find interesting, is that it is made up almost entirely, with the exception of Samoa Joe, of tag team or faction wrestlers.
Well, I mean, technically, you could count Joe as a tag team wrestler
but
because him and Finn Balor were the Dusty Rhodes Classic tag team.
more prominently noted as a singles wrestler.
But what I'm saying is there is a tag team lineage there.
There is,
well.
but not nearly
Especially
as much
if
as the
it's
competitors
Cesaro.
we have here. So we'll go over the men's bracket real quick.
Okay.
Ray Phoenix of the Lucha Brothers will take on Kyle O'Reilly of Red Dragon. Samoa Joe against the Jokers, we've already discussed. Jeff Hardy, as one of the Hardy Boys, will take on Darby Allen, who's been partnering with Sting, but also has some notable singles success. And Adam Cole of the, what do they call themselves? Undisputed Elite,
Yes.
will take on Dax Harwood of FTR.
Yeah.
So primarily tag team wrestlers, which again, in the spirit of Owen Hart, was himself a tag team wrestler who also wrestled singles style.
You know what I'm surprised about?
What are you surprised about?
Honestly, there's a name on that list that isn't in the tournament that I think really needs to be.
Who's that?
Keith Lee.
No.
Yes.
No.
Get you another big man in there for your winner to eventually topple.
Blah.
Especially if it's Cesaro, because you could have had the Cesaro go through Joe and Keith Lee.
See, I don't think Joe's going to be the Joker in this tournament. I'm sorry, I don't think Cesaro is going to be the Joker in this tournament to go up against Joe in the first round. That's something you build for.
Well, they said the same thing about several things they've done in the last couple
that's
months.
because
too.
they have zero clue how to build toward a pay-per-view.
I'm not excited about it because nothing in that tournament bracket from any of those men, unless Cesaro is one of them, screams anything that has to do with Owen Hart in my mind.
Incorrect, sir.
With the exception of FTR guy.
Well, Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's were the only man in the tournament who actually wrestled Owen Hart while he was
Yes,
alive.
but when I think of an Owen Hart tournament, in my mind,
You
I
think
would
the
want
best technical wrestlers in the world.
people who wrestle like Owen.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
However, who's your pick of these 8 men, not knowing who the Joker is? Let's take the Joker out of the equation because we don't know. Of these 7 men, who would be your pick
All right.
to win the tournament?
My pick would be the Joker, regardless of who it is. But
Of the 7
if
men.
I have to go for the 7 that are announced, the one that makes the most sense in my mind, honestly,
Yeah.
and who could benefit the most,
Yeah.
is Darby Allen.
I could see that.
He's the only one that could benefit.
his-
Everybody else has something else going on.
Yeah.
But Darby Allen, he's known as the tag guy with Sting.
Yeah.
This could be his breakout tournament.
I mean, I wouldn't say that's what he's only known for. He is the resident daredevil.
I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
Right now, he
is
Sting's partner.
I can see that.
I'm going to say Darby Allen winning that automatically injects him into the heavyweight championship.
Oh, yeah, if he won, I absolutely agree.
But you have Dax, who's a tag team champion. Adam Cole,
Dax
who's
is
current. Adam Cole isn't a current champion.
No.
But he's going to be put into the build between the Bucks and Red Dragon.
Yes.
And for the trios titles when Kenny Omega comes back. So cut him out of the equation. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy are going to be tag team things. Yeah. They've got business. Take him out of the equation.
Same thing with Ray Phoenix and Penta.
Ray Phoenix, yes, with the death triangle thing that they do, you take him out of the equation. Kyle O'Reilly, again, for the same reason you take Adam Cole out, you have to take Kyle O'Reilly out.
So you're left with
and Samoa Joe's your Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah.
Or television champion. The only guy that makes sense other than the fact of the Joker, but we're taking the Joker out of this, Darby Allen's your guy.
I can see that.
Jeff Hardy loses to Darby Allen, which pushes Darby Allen bigger than you think it will push him.
Oh, it will.
To beat Jeff Hardy the extreme. He is basically this generation's version of Jeff Hardy.
Which, again, why you would give that away in your first round bracket tournament on live free TV is beyond me, because that's a pay-per-view.
Well, here's the deal with that, though, is we all know Tony Khan likes to make blockbuster decisions and shit every week. Every week, Tony Khan's got a major announcement to make.
You're killing it for me, Tony.
Stop it.
Now, do you want to know who the real winner of this tournament's going to be? Because I'll tell you.
Me?
Dax Harwood. Well, that's a good answer. Dax Harwood.
I would love to see him.
No doubt in my mind.
But I don't see it.
Dax Harwood is currently, as it stands, the best professional wrestler in the game.
What? To a degree, yes. Tag team, for sure.
Just in general.
But here's the deal. If you add Cesaro in on that, what a final.
Oh, Cesaro and Dax?
Take my
money.
What a final.
Take it. Take
both
it all.
Technical wrestlers, both wrestle the Owen style.
Yeah.
Cesaro teamed with Tyson Kidd, the last of the Hart dynasty.
That's true.
For tag team, 2 or 3 tag
what
team
if Tyson Kidd's the fucking sleeper? What if he's the Joker? It's a possibility, right?
Well, they said that he was working towards an in-ring return for a while now.
Yeah.
However,
well, he'll go to the WWE if he comes back.
But however, he's also one of the head trainers for the women's division.
Yes. So
he's not going anywhere.
Speaking of women, let's talk a little bit about the women's bracket.
Okay, shoot, because I don't know the lineup.
Okay, we've got Toni Storm against Jamie Hayter.
Okay.
We'll take on the winner of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and their Joker.
You need to tell Mother to answer her calls from unknown person.
Oh, yes. Actually, I have to read this, and then I have to go do that because I'm about a half hour late on something I was supposed to do. We have Riho and Ruby Soho taking on the winner of Red Velvet and Hikaru Shida.
That sounds like a bad dinner combination.
Once again, the question is, Dr. Britt Baker, your biggest, arguably in this tournament, AEW's biggest women's wrestler name, why are you pitting her up against your Joker in the first round of the bracket?
You know what would be amazing?
Tell me.
Now, go with me on this.
Okay.
While I know that Martha Hart has a problem with anything from the WWE.
Yes.
We heard a couple months back that Tony Khan had been working with something with Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
What if it's Natalya?
That would be a coup, and it would
because here's the deal. Martha Hart wouldn't have a problem with it because she's a Hart.
Yes.
What if it's Natalya?
I would be all in on Natty. Like 100%.
Who better?
Not even a question.
Who better?
Yeah. Natty, again, the only problem with that is why have her go? She and Britt should be the final and not the first round.
Coletta says, take my money.
Yeah, take all of my money.
Yeah, Britt Baker versus Natalya would.
Yeah, that's a pay-per-view fucking match. Excuse my language. All right.
But again, if you're going to do that and then you do the Samoa Joe thing too, it's still two big jokers.
Yep. All right, I'm going to let you vamp for a second because I have a familiar responsibility I have to take care of.
That's okay, because I'm going to explain to the people here that the tournament, the reason why you would have to give those out in the beginning is because it's how you build a bracket. It's how you build a tournament bracket. You have your 8 that goes to 4 that goes to 2.
I'm Caleb Black, and I'm a piece of shit.
That's not true. You don't even look like Caleb Black.
You're right, I don't.
See what I did there? See what I did there? So here's the real question. While he's gone, it's just us girls here. Set birthday list.
No, you want to see the birthday list? You want to see it?
No, I don't want to see the birthday list.
I'm not gonna let you.
I knew you wouldn't let me see it anyway.
That.
That's okay. I know it's all got to be legal or whatnot.
Yeah, Otherwise, these make-believe points aren't for anything.
Coletta, you said, hi, I'm Caleb Black. Welcome to Jackass. Fantastic.
That'd be, hi, I'm Caleb Black. I am a jackass.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm trying to do the theme song or whatever. Anyway, so we have the Owen Hart thing for AEW.
Speaking of Owen Hart, yesterday was his birthday.
Yes, Owen Hart's birthday was yesterday. For those of you who...
We talked about it a little bit last week, but...
For those of you who don't know the history of Owen Hart, I wrote some stuff out here. I'll read it for you. Yesterday would have been the 57th birthday of Owen Hart.
Yes.
Owen was the youngest of Stu Hart's 12 children.
Correct.
Who made his debut in 1983. He wrestled
Piece of
for
shit is back.
Stampede Wrestling for his father from 1983 to 1991 with some quick stops in Japan and then the WWF. His first major success came in 1991 as a member of the new foundation with Jim Neidhart, then High Energy with Koko Beware. He turned against his brother Brett. The two semi-main evented WrestleMania 10, where Owen pinned Brett for the first time ever.
Correct.
After the kick heard round the world from the Royal Rumble.
Oh. Joe Smith the Don says
I'm not giving
this
him the
is
credibility
gay.
right at the moment.
Yeah.
Owen then held the Intercontinental, the European, and tag belts 4 times in a King of the Ring tournament win, known as the King of Hearts.
Yes.
Continued to have success in the WWE or WWF at the time, even after the departure of his brother for WCW. At the time of his death, he was wrestling as the Blue Blazer. He died after nearly falling 80 feet to the ring at Over the Edge 99. The night after Owen's death, Monday Night Raw aired an highly emotional tribute show called Raw is Owen.
Yes.
Owen was 34 at the time of his passing. AEW is currently running the 2 tournaments, as we said. Long live the King of Hearts.
Yeah.
We miss you, Owen.
We sure do.
Some of Owen Hart's best, and the sad part is you can't do a tribute show of Owen Hart, and I'll tell you why you can't. When you take away the Martha Hart thing, you take away all that stuff. You can't have one of those shows for Owen Hart because what footage would you play?
You could play plenty from his Japanese and Canadian days.
But everything that Owen
His
Hart
body
is
of
known
work in
for
the
is a
United
heel.
States.
Is a heel.
Yeah.
So you don't want to show the sneaky shit that he's really known for as, I mean, you can in nowadays society, but that's the reason why we haven't
But
had
you're
one.
also playing to the internet fans.
Nowadays you can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Back then
You could have done this, absolutely. No,
That's
I
why
agree
it's
with that.
taking so long to be able to throw something like that
Yeah.
together now.
Yeah.
Because
You
here's the
could-
deal. Martha owns a lot of Owen Hart's footage that WWE does not own.
Yeah, you could play plenty from Calgary, from Stampede, from his days in Japan with Dynamite Kid.
The fact that he won the Royal Rumble the second Royal Rumble in 1994 that was not televised.
Correct.
He won it at Madison Square Garden by eliminating The Undertaker.
Yep.
To win the Royal Rumble that is a bastardized Royal Rumble because it's never mentioned
Right.
in the history of Royal Rumbles. But it happened at a live show at Madison Square Garden in
It was
1994.
advertised
Owen Hart
as a Royal Rumble.
eliminated
not
The
Royal.
Undertaker. Think about what I'm telling you.
Listen to it,
94.
Woo!
Owen Hart eliminates The Undertaker in Madison Square Garden to win the Royal Rumble.
Which would have been what, directly after The Undertaker dropped the title to Taker, or right before he won
No,
it?
no,
the first
it,
time? I'm sorry, Undertaker dropped it to Hogan.
It would have
Okay.
took place
I
a
picked it
month
up from Hogan.
after
Goddamn.
him and Brett wrestled at WrestleMania 10.
Yeah.
And it would have billed for their SummerSlam push of Brett and Owen in the cage at SummerSlam.
Okay.
So it was right smack dab around the time he won the King of the Ring,
Gotcha.
which he was the 1994 King of the Ring. Should have won it the second year, but didn't enter the tournament, and they did a whole big thing about it. Also, a great tag team wrestler, him and Yokozuna.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic as tag team champions. Owen elevated everyone that was in the ring with Owen.
Yep.
Bar none.
Yep.
I think that he's finally getting his just due, and that's fantastic. And the AEW video game with him being a playable character is also awesome
That's really cool.
for the fans.
Yeah.
It's for the fans. The fans that are like, well, we
For the
want
people.
Owen. Why can't we have Owen in a video game?
And Tony Khan says, yes, you can.
You can now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the shirts being sold, the action figures being made. It's kind of amazing to think that he fell in 99.
Yeah.
It's 2022, and we're now finally being able to sing the
To
praises
celebrate.
of Owen Hart. Yes.
Owen Hart.
It's It's kind of interesting to think it's been that long.
Yeah.
1999. This
Yeah.
month
It's 9 years
is
old.
99. It's insane to me that it's been that
absolutely incredible.
long. Yeah. Well, I mean, look at Eddie. It was 2005.
Oh, man, I know.
And it's 2022 right now. That's how long
I can
Eddie's been.
still remember how I found out Eddie passed away, which is so random and so weird. The day he passed away was on a Sunday, and I didn't have internet where I lived at the time. But I ordered one of the TNA pay-per-view in November.
Yeah, and they mentioned it.
And when Bully Ray mentioned it.
Mhm.
In a promo, and I can't tell you who the hell they were wrestling, him and Devon, but as they were cutting his promo, before Bully Ray finished up, he said, "Rest in peace, Eddie," in Spanish.
Yeah.
Which was very cool, but I don't know why. I just remember.
No. I remember that entire thing, too, because it didn't go to the TNA Across the Line or anything like that. It went directly into a wrestling promo.
Team Canada.
Yes, that's exactly who they were.
Robert Roode and Eric Young.
It was Christian and the Dudleys versus Team Canada, wasn't it, that night? Pretty sure it was.
No, it was just a straight tag match, I believe.
Then it would have been Bobby Roode
and Eric Young.
Or
A1, yeah. Whichever way.
Yeah, but here's the deal. I'm glad that it's finally getting here. It should have been here years ago.
Yeah.
But here's, as wrestling fans, hey, let's take it for what we got. Man, at least we got something.
Yeah. Something to remember Owen by, a well-deserved memorial.
Also, the first two people to win these tournaments are going to be able to glide on the fact
that they won the first Owen Hart tributary tournaments.
Yes.
Very cool.
Going to be great. It's good for the fans. It's good for wrestling journalists. It's good for everyone.
Yeah. All right.
No
now
smoke.
It's time for us to get back to work here after we're done lamenting the success.
Joe, how's it going, brother?
Yeah. After we're done lamenting the success of Owen Hart, it's time to talk about the upcoming event that is this evening as we speak, WrestleMania Backlash.
Well, not as we speak, but later on. It all depends on when
later
you're
on
watching this.
After we're speaking.
Yeah, you might be watching this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Well, then spoilers. All right.
Can we fast forward to tomorrow?
Boy, I wish we could.
Oh, yes. And also, while
and
he's getting
subscribe.
everything done, would you please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already? Notification bell so you know when we go live, even though you should know by now that it's 2:15 on Sundays.
Don't drink, don't smoke.
However, we're also going to be able to pump in, once the new format goes, we might throw in some random videos from time to time to drop throughout the week to just give you that little dose of adrenaline until you can get to your Sunday.
That's right, baby. All right, gentlemen. It's time to take our selections.
I would like a Whopper and fries.
Now, before I would like a Whopper. And
Oh,
fries.
no.
You're an asshole, sir. Now I'm hungry.
First of all, you should have gone with the bedazzled joke instead of Big Mac and Coke.
We're going to put this out right now.
Slide.
First tournament thing. Our points are even. Everybody's
Yes,
at one.
we're all starting on one.
Now, this is how it's going to be done this year. You are going to get two saves for the entire season. You can use them up until the pay-per-view before Mania, whatever they call it.
It has to be stated on video.
It has
That
to
you're
be
using
stated
that
before the
that
match
you might
takes
use it.
place.
However, if it comes down to the situation where the save doesn't apply, you get to keep it.
Wait. You mean
Yes.
hold on. So you want to preemptively say, for instance, AJ Styles and Edge tonight. I would preemptively say I'm using my save on this match, but if the guy that I picked won, then I get to save the save.
Yes.
Okay, that's how we're doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. The only way you can burn the save is if it's used.
Yes.
So that way it kind of makes it a little more fun.
Yeah.
And we can go points.
So it's not a save after the fact.
No.
Okay, cool.
You have
I
to
like
make
that.
it ahead of time. So
All
that
right.
way, you know, how many
Yeah.
times, like Max said, how many times do we set the day of the show and make picks and go, well, this is how I want it to go down, but this is how I'm doing it for points.
Yeah.
Now you can use one of those saves
one of
or
those
two.
where you really just don't know which one to pick. So
Right. So you can safety net
Also, you can only
I'm down.
use one save
per show.
pay-per-view. You can't use both of them in one shot.
No.
It doesn't work that way. And we all get to.
It's kind of like our golden.
And
buzzer.
here's the deal. There'll be a game mid-season.
yes,
Or
there's
somebody-
There'll be a lot of games. This
No.
season.
Where somebody can win
Another
an
save.
additional save, but the other two can't.
I'm down with that.
So that way they have that one save advantage.
I'm down with that.
Cool?
Cool.
All right, let's get to Backlash.
All right, let's talk about the card in no
Don't smoke, it's bad for you.
particular order. I'm just going to go over the matches now. Again, rules stipulate Only the matches that have been announced up to the day of the card are going to be considered. Anything that happens
After
on
now,
the show, we're not applying. So if they announce an impromptu match, it doesn't count.
doesn't count because we can't make the pick for it.
Also, this year, remember, we're including all WWE and AEW pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
Changing it up a little bit. So,
And it's easier to do because really it only gives us 4 extra pay-per-views because that's all that AEW does is 4 pay-per-views a year.
I think they run 5 now, but something like that.
Something
It's
like that.
more
It's
points
still,
regardless.
yeah, it's more points, but it's not as much more shit as what we usually do, and that's where the games and fun stuff will come into play.
All right. So, in no particular order, first match,
Okay.
Baron Corbin, Happy Corbin,
Yes.
or Madcap Moss.
Maximus, I'm going to let you field this one first.
Here you go with Mad Guy.
Think he's going to get the upset?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm feeling, too.
Hold on. Before we make
Speak
this
your
accountable, I think I need to add something to the scroll of rules. And it has to be unanimous between the 3 of us. I think that the newest member of Pro Wrestling Throwdown
Sure.
should also take picks.
Okay.
And if he beats and wins the night over the 3 of us, we don't get any picks from that night.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm cool with that.
You good with that?
I'm cool with that.
That way, if he overcalls all the picks that we would have won for the night, they're all gone.
But he has to beat all 3 of us.
He has to beat all 3 of us.
Okay.
He has to be the guy to win the night.
Okay. I'm down with that. Another little...
That little side thing, make it a little bit more fun.
Oh, yeah, I'm down. All right, Johnny. Big Bad John. You're in the game, too, baby.
Sounds good.
So, Max, we're going to start with you. Baron Corbin or Madcap Moss?
You know, Mad Guy.
Madcap Moss, Maximus says.
It's not a bad bet.
It's not a bad bet. Big Bad John. What say you, sir?
Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
It's also not a
There
bad
goes that win.
bet. It might be the only one you call right, Max.
Big Dog.
Well, here's the deal. If you're going to build Madcap Moss, he has to win. So, Madcap Moss. Probably by disqualification.
I'm thinking Madcap, too. He'll get the upset win over Happy Corbin. Happy Corbin's not really going to take the place as a main heel right now.
No.
It's good for Madcap. Get another babyface going.
Also gives Ricochet somebody else to bounce the Intercontinental title off.
Correct.
Which, by the way, is not represented yet again on pay-per-view.
That is correct. All right. Bobby Lashley versus Omos.
We'll start with you, Caleb.
Lashley's already got 1 win over Omos. And with Omos having
The manager now.
the manager now, I'm going to throw my vote toward Omos tonight.
Maximus?
I was kind of thinking the same thing. I don't think they're going to throw
I don't
Lashley
think they're gonna
back
have him
to a mainstream
beat him
picture right now. I
twice.
think they're working on building Omos.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
Or even if they're going to build Lashley as a babyface up again,
Right.
he's got to get a little heat underneath him first.
Yeah.
Big Bad John? What you got?
Almost. Luke?
All right. I'm going to make my pick, and then I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
I'm also going almost.
Yep.
Reason being is the skit with Cedric Alexander on Raw last week. When he was like, I still believe in the Hurt Business, this, that, and the other, and he tried to get back in with MVP. The Hurt Business reunites, and they attack Bobby
Yes.
Lashley and join Omos, and then you have his lackeys to cover what he can't do
Yeah.
physically.
Plus, he's got people to sell for him because Almost
Almost
can't take the bumps
by
of Benjamin and Cedric.
unanimous decision.
All right. Back into the nitty-gritty. AJ Styles versus Edge. Bear in mind, Damian Priest is barred from ringside. Luke, what do you got?
I'm going with Edge because I believe this will be the debut of the newest member of Judgment Day.
That's exactly why I'm going with Edge, because it only stipulates that Damian Priest is barred from ringside, not Tommaso Ciampa, or who we all believe Tommaso's that guy. Could be a fucking swerve. Who knows? But
Regardless,
Edge.
I see Edge going over.
Yes. Max
I'm on the same page as you, fellas.
and Big Bad John.
The same.
All right. You know, so far, if Corbin wins, just off
So
the matches
far-
we've selected so far, we'll get no points. All right.
And Big Bad John will be in the lead.
Hi, Bubba.
Hi, Bubba.
All right. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins in their return match from WrestleMania. Big Bad John, who do you got?
Repeat that again, sorry.
Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes.
Rhodes.
Good bet.
Rhodes.
Good bet.
Road. All all roads lead.
All roads lead to Cody.
All roads lead to Roman.
Well, yeah. Now you're damn Skippy.
Eventually.
All roads lead to Fitz. That's a
Unless he goes to Hollywood first.
It's yet another unanimous.
that's
by
a
the way.
scandal joke. Oh yeah, it is. Wow, killing it right now.
Yeah.
All right, Charlotte Flair, SmackDown Women's Champion, against Ronda Rousey in an I Quit match for the SmackDown Women's
Ronda
title.
Rousey.
Max
Not even
says
looking
Ronda
forward to that
Rousey.
match.
I think Ronda's going to win too. I think if they're going to keep her on TV and they're going to put anything under, she has to beat her now. Otherwise, what are we doing with her?
Otherwise, what's the point?
Yep. Luke?
Well, here's the deal. While I want to see it go the other way,
Yeah.
and we have those saves.
So I'm saying you could use your save right now, be the first guy out of the gate to burn one.
I am not going to use my save, and I'm
Hey.
going to go with Ronda Rousey.
Real quick, if you use your save and it's right, do you get the point for that match?
Yes.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
wanted to clarify. I wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that we
That's
we
how
made
you
that
save
clear
your
to them.
point.
Okay.
Yeah, you will get a point regardless.
So
with
Luke,
the
you're
save.
saying Ronda Rousey.
Yes, and I'm not using my save.
John? Rousey. Another unanimous. Holy
It's
shit.
going to all come down to this one.
It's going to come down to Baron Corbin. That's the way it's fucking
No,
looking.
I think this next one's going to go
All
different
right.
than you think it is.
RK Bro and Drew McIntyre takes on.
What's up, Mark? Ronda will never say I quit. What's up, y'all?
What up, baby boy?
What up?
Against the Bloodline.
No. It's the Bloodline
Against.
versus RK McBro.
That sounds like something.
No,
That's actually in a promo.
Drew himself coined that.
RK McBro.
RK McBro.
I hate every bit of that. All right.
McBro.
RK McBro
Shirts
versus,
are going to sell like
versus
fucking
the
hotcakes.
Bloodline. Big Bad John.
Hold on. Max, how many days?
I
617,
do
did you
believe
say?
it's 617
Okay.
today.
As your reigning.
And defending.
Well, not defending.
Yeah,
reigning Universal WWE champion.
WWE undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
You're head of the table. You left it all out.
By the way,
I'm not-
Caleb.
I'm not
By the way,
Paul Heyman.
Caleb. Now you don't have to ask if it's the blue belt or not because he has both of them.
That's correct.
That's right.
It's those belts and it's Private Party and the Street Profits. I can never seem to figure out which one's which.
No, you can't. When you do get them, it shocks
And
the
it's
fuck
not
out of me.
it's not a racially motivated thing with the other tag team. Their gimmick is so similar that that's what throws me off.
They look like each other too.
Yeah,
They dress
I mean,
the same.
Don't hate on me for that. All right. Big Bad John.
RK McBro.
Okay. Maximilian Furious.
RK McBro. They're gonna build a thing with McIntyre and Roman.
Here's
and
the
then they're gonna
thing.
keep going with RK Bro
I agree
a little bit, and
because one of the Usos can take the pin and it doesn't take
and
any
that-
heat off
and
the
that's exactly
bloodline.
right. That's exactly
Doesn't
right.
hurt
Roman
Drew.
doesn't have to lose.
And it keeps if the bloodline wins now, there's no reason for RK McBro to get back in the saddle here. They have to get a victory here to keep it
Here's
alive.
the deal. Roman feeds Jay
Yep.
to the RKOs and a big ass Claymore.
Yeah.
Your winners, RK McBro.
Yeah.
I gotta go, and that's
So-
it's unusual because over the last year,
Yeah.
I haven't won against Roman.
Right.
No, it's been difficult to, but this would be the match that would do
Yeah.
it. Now
Because he doesn't have to beat him.
here's the crazy
Exactly.
thing, right?
And the title's not on the line.
Technically, between us, there's 6
Yeah.
points up for grab to add to our current tally, which, regardless, it's going to be unanimous across the board. But if Baron Corbin wins, even if we called everything else correctly, we get 0 points and we stay at 1-1-1.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. The picks are drawn. Let me go back over this real quick, get our little recap
Yeah,
on.
let everybody know what's going on.
For Baron Corbin and Madcap Moss, Max, Luke, and myself have chosen Madcap Moss. Big Bad John, the odd man out, going with Corbin. The rest of these are completely unanimous. Lashley versus Omos, the table goes for Omos. AJ Styles and Edge, the table votes for Edge. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, the table votes for Rhodes. RK McBro and the Bloodline, table's going with RK McBro. And Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, I quit. We're all voting Ronda Rousey.
Well, so what you're saying is this go around that with the way that you use your euphemisms and everything that Roman Reigns is at the head of this table.
Correct.
Right on.
So we will either be at 7-all tomorrow or stuck at 1-all.
Stuck at 1-all.
But that's all right because at the end of this month we've got an AEW pay-per-view
Yes.
and
And in July, we have 2 WWE.
Yeah, so we got plenty of time. This is going to be an interesting race to WrestleMania for sure. The selections are made. Backlash happens in just a few hours. We've covered all the news.
Yes.
I believe it's that time.
No, it is not that time.
It's not that time. What else we got?
I am going to just smooth through this for now. We'll
Go
do it
for
on a different video when we have a lot more time.
Schmooze away.
I'm going to give my 5 greatest big men in professional wrestling picks.
Oh yeah, we talked about this last week, but we didn't get a chance.
And we didn't get to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you my top 5, and I'll say one. We'll talk about it, and then we'll go on. Number 5 on my list for the greatest big men. Now there is parameters.
Yeah, we've all got some.
I'm not going to go over all of the parameters.
Height, weight, size, ability.
This is who I think qualifies as a big man in my opinion.
Yes.
Might not be your opinion. That's why it's mine.
Right.
Number 5 on my list has to go to Paul White, the Big Show.
Big Show. Good vote.
I watched the man do a drop kick from the top rope.
Damn good vote. Damn good vote too.
So you know he's agile.
Yeah.
Not only that, he has major wins over every single person to hold the heavyweight championship. If you look back at the lineage, he's beaten Hogan. He's beaten Luger. He's beaten
And
Sting.
I believe he was the
Flair.
youngest WCW world champion in history.
Beaten Flair. On the other side of that, he's beaten Austin. He's beaten Triple H. He's beaten The Undertaker, Kane, The Rock, Mick Foley. He's beaten everybody there is to beat in this business in
Brock
a predominant shot. Lesnar is prime example.
Yeah.
He was the first person to topple Lesnar at Survivor Series 2002.
Yeah. And that's
2002.
And that's when the WWE didn't think they had much stock left in Paul White.
How long till Roman retires? When he wants to.
Okay, so real quick, a caveat to that. Roman did cut a promo. I guess we can cover this super quick.
Yeah.
Roman did cut a promo last night on the live show talking about his future in the WWE. Roman's not going anywhere right now. The WWE's brokering all of his movie deals for him. They're going to keep him on TV as long as, at least up until next year's WrestleMania, so they can get the payoff with him in The Rock.
Yeah.
So,
also, did I go on a record last week of telling how I thought his title reign was going to end?
Yeah,
I don't think I did.
I don't know if he did or not.
The plan is him and The Rock next year's WrestleMania.
But he's going to lose both Cody Rhodes.
What's going to happen is he's going to beat The Rock. He's going to claim himself as the greatest heavyweight champion of all time.
He's going to claim that his family.
He beat The Rock as the last person he needed to beat. Cody Rhodes in June this year is going to win the Royal Rumble or win the Money in the Bank.
Yep.
He'll cash in at Mania and beat him in the main event at WrestleMania after and only after Roman Reigns beats The Rock.
After he secures his name as the wrestling,
or you do it,
family gimmick.
The Monday after.
That's a big one.
It goes down even remotely like that. I do not believe that Cody Rhodes will cash in and take a cheap victory.
I think Roman loses the belt before that. I think Roman loses the belt and still goes into the match with The Rock to secure the family legacy, and Cody Rhodes main events against somebody else.
If Cody Rhodes were to win and cash in, like you said, it
would be the night after. It would be on Raw.
You know, what could be interesting?
He would do it and make it a straight up match.
Keep in mind, Cody Rhodes is a legitimate 2-time All-State heavyweight wrestler. That's a fact. Cody and Brock get a little mix in there. Brock gets some heat on Cody, gets some color on him. Cody gets the underdog victory, and you still lead into Roman and The Rock because you got 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We're just spitballing here. Yeah, just talking.
Just talking.
You know,
Those
just throwing some stuff out.
That's girls. Anyway, okay, so number 5, the Big Show.
Big Show.
Number 4 on my list, in my opinion, one of the greatest big men of all time, Mick Foley. Reason I say Mick Foley is because he was not your carbon copy professional wrestler. He never was what you would call in shape ever in his entire career, other than 97 with him and Taker and him and Michaels.
Yeah.
He's never been the most fit guy in the room. He's always been the guy that had to rely on brute strength and brawling. Therefore, in my opinion, also 2-time former world heavyweight champion, numerous time hardcore champion. Mick Foley, number 4 on my list.
Good point.
Also, he's branched out as author. He branched out, had his own TV show on the network. He's a Hall of Famer, stand-up comedian,
speaker, storyteller. Yeah,
there's nobody better in this business than Mick Foley.
Not to mention, he was also in Boy Meets World.
Also on Boy Meets World. Yeah.
So was Vader.
Yes, he was.
That's true.
Well, I'm glad that you said that. Real glad glad that you said that because my number 3 on my list, Big Van Vader.
Big Van Vader, baby.
Big Van Vader was the first, other than the not recognized Hulk Hogan title win,
Yes.
was one of the first Gaijins, as they call us over there.
To win the IWGP World
Not only that, but he had 3 other championships at the time.
And he's also one of the first Gaijin tag teams to hold the IWGP Tag Team Championships with Stan Hansen.
Also, the greatest foil for Hulk Hogan in WCW at that time.
There are only 13 Gaijin, I think, IWGP Tag Team Champions.
Big Van Vader also could moonsault from the top rope.
Yep.
Could get the smaller talent over by just having a match with him, regardless of if he won or not.
Yeah.
His match with Shawn Michaels, even though as fucked up as it ended up being at SummerSlam, he made Michaels a credible champion by being 10 times bigger than him. Also, him and Yoko allowed Michaels during that build for his first title run to eliminate both of them at the same time in the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Big Van Vader also, like Max pointed out, broke barriers by being on Boy Meets World.
Yep.
Also,
At a time where Vader genuinely protected his gimmick and the business, decided, obviously, 90s pop culture and WWE brokering the deal, but you have to respect his transition into.
We got to talk about.
Nose.
I was about to say we got to talk about the fact that he was detained in Germany on a show for slapping a news reporter, not that news reporter, because the guy asked him if professional wrestling was fake.
Yeah.
He gets out of his seat and he starts smacking him across the face. Does that feel fake to you? Does that feel fake? He held the business at the hindrance of being put in German prison.
Wait, I thought that was in Mexico after the interview with Taker.
No, Germany. It was Germany with him and Taker, yes.
Okay.
Because Taker was like, the whole time that it's taking place, I'm sitting there in my mind going, we're going to jail. They're never going to let us out of here. They're going to kill us. That's what's going to happen.
Not to mention, Vader very eloquently voiced his displeasure with the insinuation that professional wrestling was fake before that.
Yes.
Which was just a very nice touch that he wasn't just this giant brute, that he has a brain.
Also, evidently, to the people who know him the best, I know there's a lot of bad stories about Vader out there. Sure. But a lot of people that I've talked to about Vader said that the man was always smart to the business and always made the right decision for him. And if you're making the right decision for yourself, you're betting on yourself.
Yeah. He also got knocked out by Harley Race, which makes him like the 5th big man who got knocked out by Harley Race, including Andre the Giant.
Well, I mean, Harley Race hit like a brick shit house.
You got damn right again. I can still feel
so that's my number 3.
Yeah.
Number 2, very controversial, this number 2.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to have to go with Bam Bam Bigelow.
That's a good point.
Bam Bam Bigelow not only was part of the Jersey Triple Threat, he was the credible ECW television champion who dropped the title to Taz and made Taz a household name.
Quite possibly the second most agile big man with his size ever in the business.
They brought the man in to wrestle Goldberg in 98 before the title win, maybe in 98. Made him a credible contender there.
Yep.
He was also a former 3-time WWF tag team champion with Tatanka when he was part of the $1 Million Corporation. His feud with Doink the Clown is legendary.
Yep.
It really is.
His
partnership with Luna Vachon was perfect for the time.
There's something on this list I'm really wondering if you're going to leave out, so please keep talking.
He used the cartwheels, the headbutt from the top rope, the Bam Bam salt. He was the first to do the moonsault at his size. The first.
Did he do the moonsault before Vader?
Yes.
Kicked in the face.
Yes, he did. And here's what a lot of people don't know. In 1988, the very first Survivor Series, the teams were Hulk Hogan, Bam Bam Bigelow, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Tito Santana maybe, against Andre, the Heenan family. It was against the Heenan family. No, him, Jake, Bam Bam, and Demolition versus the Heenan family.
Yeah, which was Andre.
Hogan was eliminated second to last, and Bam Bam Bigelow was the last member on Hulk Hogan's team to take the fall.
Bam Bam Bigelow is the only.
In 1988, when Hulk Hogan was your heavyweight champion.
Joy of Pro Wrestling says, Bam Bam, what a worker, so good, versatile, you can fit him in on the card anywhere with anyone and get a good match.
Correct.
Not anyone.
So
He is the only professional wrestler to be knocked out by Damon Wayans.
that's fair.
That is true. He said he was going to kick him in the face.
He
So-
did kick him in the face.
Calling me a
You're
liar.
calling me a liar. So Bam Bam was always
That's good.
at contention with the Clique
Yes.
in the 90s of the WWF. The funny thing is, Nash, Hall, and Michaels have all attested to this. They would get in meetings with Vince and run down a list of guys that should stay, and Bam Bam was always at the top of the list, regardless of how much heat they had with him.
He was
Even
good
Kevin
for
Nash
business.
was like, why would you get rid of Bam Bam Bigelow?
Yeah.
And Vince would be like, well, you guys don't like him. And Hall would be like, well, fuck if we don't like him. He makes money.
It's not the wrestling friendness.
It's the wrestling business. We don't have to make friends. Keep Bam Bam.
All right. So
Got you.
big show at 5.
Yes.
4, Mick Foley.
Yes.
3, Big Van Vader.
Yes.
2, Bam Bam Bigelow. And my number 1 big man of all
It's
time,
obvious, but go ahead.
Yokozuna.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yokozuna could fly like a cruiserweight at 600 pounds.
Float like a butterfly, sting like
He
a
was
bee,
the
baby.
first Samoan to win the WWF Championship, regardless of where they
Surprise,
said he
kids,
was
he's not
from.
actually Japanese.
He's
Sorry to
also
spoil
part
it
of the
for you.
bloodline.
Yes.
Not only that, he proved that after holding the championship, beating Hulk Hogan, by the way, Bret Hart first.
Bret Hart, then
Hogan.
Yep.
Not only did he beat those 2 men for the title, he was an incredible and legitimate threat.
Correct.
He also wrestled Lex Luger in '93 at SummerSlam and won and lost by countout, so he didn't have to drop the belt.
Yep.
Then going on to the predominant him versus the Undertaker in their set of matches towards the end of
Which Undertaker admits to this
96.
day put him on the map.
yes, towards the end of '94, into '95, into '96.
Yeah.
On top of that, then joined Owen Hart. WrestleMania 11 to win the tag team championships and a mystery opponent of Owen's choosing because Yoko was Bret's number 1 nemesis.
Dial back to that just a little bit. He also reintroduced Lex Luger to the WWF audience and put Luger on the map when he returned.
Yes. Also, I mean, you keep going on with that. His tenure against Vader
Yeah.
there towards the end, before of course his
weight, his
subsequently
health.
released, was fantastic. Him, the Bulldog being Camp Cornette. Him, Owen, and the Bulldog.
Yeah, baby.
And sometimes Sid Vicious, depending
Mr.
on
James
what
E. Cornette.
1995 Survivor Series wild card match would have you see.
Yeah.
He's can, like I said, fly like a cruiserweight, wrestle like a powerhouse. He was very agile for a big man.
Yeah.
Especially at 600 pounds to be able to throw a savate kick and hit the Undertaker in the chin with it.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. The Undertaker did not make my list.
Which is fine because I can cover that in a minute.
Because the Undertaker didn't make my list because when I think of the Undertaker, big man doesn't come to mind to me first, gimmick does. Now, if we were talking about the greatest gimmicks of all time, it's the Undertaker,
Sure.
hands down. However, I didn't want to be that guy that always includes
That's right.
Andre the Giant.
Not to mention, there are tons of names getting off the list, left off of our mutual list that deserve definite.
Oh,
honorable
yeah, for
mentions.
sure. And like
So-
I said at the beginning, it's my opinion
Mhm.
on who the top 5 are. Your 5 could be different. I know your 5 are different, but there's some same names
There
on
are
there.
there are 3 same names.
But again, Yokozuna, in my opinion, greatest big man of all time.
Absolutely. Don't drink, don't smoke.
Yes.
So my list does vary by only 2 names. Obviously, I'll include in no particular order, and I'll just extrapolate on my 2. My list definitely has Bam Bam, definitely has Yoko, and
Big Show,
no,
Foley, Vader.
Vader, yes. Definitely has Bam Bam, Yoko, and Vader. However, the other 2 fill-in-the-blank names are Kevin Nash and The Undertaker, with the exception of their gimmick work. And I feel bad leaving Kane off because he fits this.
Well, and that's my other
mold.
point. If I put Taker on the list,
Yeah.
Kane has to.
Well,
be on
my
the list.
thing too is like if I'm going to include Yoko, why aren't I including Umaga?
Correct.
You know what I mean? But
Well, when it comes to those 2, it would be tenure and what they did. Umaga, while was on fire,
Yeah.
didn't have the kind of longevity nor career that Yoko had.
yeah, now Nash got a late start in the business at 28 years old. At the time, stood a little over 6'11". You could pair him. I'm sorry, stood over a little over 6'10". You could pair him at 6'11" or right at 7 foot in boots. Started out in the WCW territory, went through a litany of gimmicks. Runs over to the WWF, starts out as Vinny Vegas, as Shawn Michaels.
Well, no, he started out as Diesel.
Diesel.
He was Vinny Vegas
in
before he
WCW.
left. Yeah, before he left. Yeah, he
Comes
was
over,
Oz as well.
Comes over as I was leaving Oz and his other
Master Blaster.
didn't
And Super
count.
Shredder.
He was a Super Shredder, which is part of the pop culture thing I was
Yeah.
going to include.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Secret of News.
You got
My
it.
thing with Kevin Nash is going to be a very, how do I put this? It's going to be very controversial that I say this, but I know you guys are going to understand where I'm coming from. Kevin Nash, in my opinion, the list that I made of the top 5 were people who didn't fit the cookie cutter, typical big man style.
Sure.
And didn't look like they all blended together. The ones that I picked were standouts in their own careers that just happened to be big men. When you look at the early 90s, you look at people like Diesel, The Undertaker, Kane, all these people who, while they were vastly different, they all still had the same look, body-wise,
yes,
everything.
hair-wise, everything.
Yes.
Now, here's where I'm going to make the deviant argument to that. Kevin Nash, outside of his athletic ability and outside of the fact that he was an all-star national German championship basketball player, the fact that he's a U.S. Army veteran, the fact that he's been a veteran in the professional wrestling business for nigh on 30 years, had one particular skill that not even The Undertaker or Kane possessed, which was his charisma and affability. The Kevin Nash version of Kevin Nash that goes to the NWO as legitimate a person as you could be, and at the time, no big men were just cool big ass kickers. They were all gimmicks.
Yeah.
They all had face paint, or they all had tassels, or they all had something that drew you in, which was bright and colorful and made you recognize that their size was bigger than life.
Really, the only argument that
Kevin Nash,
I can see for leaving him off my list, and it's really just, it comes down to, for putting him on my list, the only argument that I see would be the fact that he won all 3 major championships in his sophomore year. He was the first person to do it.
That is correct. But the point that I'm getting to with Kevin Nash specifically is once you broke him away from gimmicks is when you found the real, genuine elements of Kevin Nash that were marketable and just cool as fuck. How many big men in wrestling can you say as watching that weren't bigger than life due to the face paint, due to the music, due to the bright colors and just the noise screaming at you? Because you look at a guy and think, man, that guy's fucking cool.
Right.
It was the charisma. It's the affability that sets him apart from all other big men, even from The Undertaker.
Yes. The only problem with that is we get into the idea of longevity. Now, I'm not saying career length. Don't get me wrong. But the cool Kevin Nash that we got to see wasn't until really 95, 96 and ended around 2001 when the knees started to go.
Well, not necessarily. Even then, from his transition when he led into his age, because he was getting upwards of 40s, closer to 50, he leaned into the fact that he was getting older. He also contributed his size to putting you smaller, younger guys over. And
and that's
maintained.
Yeah.
Outside of your argument for Yoko, which I'm not disagreeing with, Kevin Nash maintained his version of athleticism, whatever it was, all the way through his career.
Correct.
So I'm saying, as far as longevity is concerned, Kevin Nash is on the list just because Kevin Nash can do now what Kevin Nash used to do. Maybe a step slower because he's pushing 60, but 10 years ago could do what Kevin Nash in 2010 was doing in 1990.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
That's why Kevin Nash makes
and like
the list
I said,
for me.
there's an argument to be made by a lot of names on the top
yeah,
5.
like I said,
when
we'll leave
you
it off the
cut
top.
it to a 5.
Yeah, King Kong Bundy not on the list is a fucking. For his size at the time, he was one of the biggest men in wrestling.
He was one of the biggest men in wrestling, but like Andre the Giant, he really didn't do a lot. He was fodder for Hulk Hogan.
Yes. Anyway, Kevin Nash being on my list, and again, Undertaker taking not the top spot because I still believe Yokozuna is the best big man. The Undertaker has all the elements we talked about. Gimmick aside, still maintained his athletic ability, his incredible menacing, intimidating ability, his physicality in the ring, even when he was older.
Undertaker's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
He just doesn't crack my top 5 as a big man.
I understand that.
Yeah.
This is my list.
Yeah, no. I'm agreeing.
Great. As far as someone who's maintained a level of career, given his size, because let's keep in mind, when you're that size, the first things to go are your hips, your knees, your legs. They're just going to give out on you
every bit of it.
Just from constant weightlifting, regardless of the arduous process of professional wrestling.
Well, and Kevin Nash had the knee injury from basketball in college.
Exactly.
So
with that in mind, The Undertaker maintained a level of athleticism and just genuine toughness that, like most big men his size, would have capped out at maybe 8, maybe 9 years in the business.
I think
Taker ran the gambit for 30 years.
I think we have a disconnection here because what I'm saying is when I look at The Undertaker, I don't classify The Undertaker as a big man because I don't want to put him in that in that limitation. The Undertaker not only was a big man, he could also fly. That is correct.
Yeah, he can do a dive.
He can do dives. But again, The Undertaker, where a lot of the guys on the list had to be the moonsaults from the top rope or had to be this or had to be that, Undertaker didn't need that.
No.
Undertaker could wrestle a ground game with you. Undertaker could wrestle anyone at any time.
Which, again, monetizing on his size is why he cracks my top.
No. And that's fine. Like I said, that's great. What I'm saying is why he's not on
you
my
don't have
list.
to defend why he's not on your list.
No. I for the people, not to you.
Sure.
For the people. The reason The Undertaker isn't on my list is because I didn't want to put him in a...
He's a category
all in his
Well,
own.
see, he is, but when you think about big men, when you think about size applicable to skill, he is.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's
no
why
doubt.
he's one of the best big men.
And I don't disagree with your thought.
It's just applicable to how many guys do you know at his size, at 7 feet tall, at 240 plus pounds his entire career, could still move and still do the things he was doing up until
there we go.
the hip injury caught up to him.
Totally get it.
Right. Up until the hip injury caught him, he was a big man.
Even after the hip injury, really.
The gimmick and everything, of course, complimentary, and that's an entirely different conversation.
Yeah.
But you look at maintaining that size and that level of athletic ability, you don't get better for a guy his size and his athletic ability than The Undertaker. That's why he's on my list. It's the same thing with Kevin Nash. Yes, you could argue that those are the same elements, with the exception of Kevin Nash's just affable charisma, to the point where you would forget that he was also a giant.
Kevin Nash
and an ass kicker. The thing about Nash is you would remember he's a giant when he powerbombed you.
Yes.
That's the thing that reminded you he's a big man. But you watch him wrestle, especially in like 96 to 99. Yeah. That motherfucker was moving and zipping. It benefited him that he was wrestling guys like Sid and Hall, which displayed his size in a way that was complimentary.
With other athletic
But then you get him in there with Rey Mysterio, who looks like a child, and it's like, oh, fuck. Kevin Nash is 7 feet tall. You're goddamn right he is, which is why he cracks.
And like I said, they both deserve a place.
All Japan with Gorilla, Giant Baba. Oh, dude, Monsoon was a fucking animal, especially in New Japan. All Japan.
Well,
Giant Baba, for his size where he was, fucking a monster.
A lot of people don't know this, and I'm gonna drop some knowledge. I'm sure Mark does, and you guys probably do know this too, to an extent. In 1996, the build to WrestleMania, Gorilla Monsoon was attacked by Vader.
Is that 3 or 4? 96.
96 would have been 12.
12.
When Michaels won the
I'm sorry. I
title.
thought you said 80 for some reason.
Before the Iron Man match was set up by Roddy Piper, who was the interim president.
Yes.
Gorilla Monsoon was attacked a week before he was announced as the interim president by Vader for levying a suspension for jumping back into the Royal Rumble and throwing Shawn Michaels out of the ring.
Which they never do anymore.
Right. So what was originally the plan was that Gorilla Monsoon was going to come back and wrestle Vader.
Yeah.
And then Gorilla's health went.
Yeah.
But the original plan for that was to build Vader by having him beat Gorilla Monsoon, who was the big monster fucking character for years.
As an off tangent to that, what would you guys think about us doing an almost happened segment here in a couple of weeks? Because there are so many stories of like matches and hold on 1 minute.
That's free. You get that one for free. Get that liquid energy. All right. Whoever Trex guy is, you picked the wrong guy.
Howdy, partner. I don't know who you are.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to do the whole Taker thing. Then he said, oh, yeah. No. I ain't going to fight him.
Unless there's some money to be made.
Now you got some money, we can talk about
Here's the deal. When you get us to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'll set up a fucking webcam. We'll go out in your backyard. It don't got to be in a ring.
Fuck that. We hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We'll have a full-on blown fucking old school fucking dog fight match just for y'all.
1,000 subscribers.
1,000 subscribers by December 31st of this year, and you fucking got it.
If we get it by December 31st of this year, it will be WrestleMania weekend. We will wrestle each other at WrestleMania weekend.
You should sub and share and get us to 1,000 subscribers.
Yes, please.
Anyway, Max, did you want to extrapolate on your big man list?
No, I basically, me and Luke's were actually really, really
Yeah,
close.
we were very close.
Well, do you have any name that might be different?
He had Taker on his list.
Okay.
No, Taker was.
Oh, no.
Taker wasn't on his list.
No.
Did you have any names that different from our list that you wanted to bring to light? Between
there was one that was different from me, and I think it was the Foley one, because Max had a different set of parameters where he had disqualified Foley from his list.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, it's all subjective.
Oh yeah,
it's
we can sit here and talk. We're going to do more of these top fives. We're going to do technical wrestlers, high flyers.
I'm a Danhausen fan. He is not.
Correct.
However, he can admit Danhausen makes money.
Oh yeah, Danhausen again. The professional, the business aspect of what Danhausen does is great. I'm just not a fan of what he does in the ring.
Have you guys heard of POR wrestling?
No, we haven't.
No, but I'm very interested in seeing what that is.
All right. Well, Mark, we will do a what if. We'll do like top 5 matches that almost happened or should have happened.
I can tell you my number one right now.
Shawn Michaels and Eddie Guerrero at WrestleMania 22.
Yeah. Well, that
mine would have been
Michaels and The Rock.
Mine would have been Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit at ECW One Night Stand 2.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. They just pulled them off tour for some reason.
Extreme Wrestling Channel.
No, I haven't heard of them.
On YouTube.
We will give them a check out, though. Maybe we'll do a little recon.
Here's the deal. Tell them to like and subscribe, and we'll like and subscribe and share.
Yeah, we'll even share their shit on. We will. We'll review some of their shit on their show and talk about it on our show.
Yeah.
Because we're fucking cool.
I saw Elvis almost wrestled Lawler in 77.
That is actually not true. They had tossed around the idea that Elvis would do something with Lawler in Memphis, but the insurance company that covered Sun Records would not allow Elvis to perform, so they came with a contingency deal that would allow Elvis to appear and do a stunt. But the fact that they were going to wrestle was never actually
Thank you, Trex.
Was never actually established. Elvis's insurance company wouldn't allow it. Sun Records wouldn't allow it, but they did agree to him to do a spot at one of the Memphis shows, and it actually featured Elvis attacking Bill Dundee.
Do you know who got the Lawler spot though, or the Elvis spot?
Was that when they transitioned to Andy Kaufman? No.
Muhammad Ali.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Because Jake Roberts wouldn't bump for him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
All right. Well, now that we've gotten the top 5 segment out of the way, we're pushing.
Oh, also, if you have a top 5 segment that you would like us to do, you can contact us numerous
different
ways.
Fuck yes, please.
Caleb, how do you contact us?
You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. You can follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. You can send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. And as always, you can like, subscribe, and private message here.
Also, if you are a subscriber to IWTV, you can jump on and watch us on the commentary
Anna
table.
Fight Underground /AFU Hardcore is the name of our most recent event is published under the AFU Hardcore name.
Under the Grudge.
Yes. Check us out. Check out our product. Check out the product that we represent.
Also, June 30th.
June 30th will upcoming the AFU Hardcore event Choke Point at Quick Skating Rink in Anna, Illinois. There's no card yet been announced, but if the fallout from this last show is anything as will indicate what the next show is
going to be,
want
to miss this.
It's going to be awesome. All right. Enough pussyfooting around. It's time.
Well, we had to pay the bills.
That's true. It's time for birthdays.
Bullshit.
Max, take it away. I'm going to beat your ass.
Said that last week.
How hardcore do we get?
Shorter list than normal.
Hold on. How hardcore do we get? Let me ask you a question, young sir. What do you believe hardcore wrestling is? Because if your version of hardcore wrestling isn't a guy getting wrapped in barbed wire, thrown onto thumbtacks, or set on fire, or having a monster with a mask made of human flesh,
or
dragging an iron hook scraped across your face, then we may be a little too hardcore for you.
Anna Fight's alumni include New Jack,
Madman Pondo, Necro Butcher,
Mickey Knuckles,
Madman Pondo.
Yeah, of course, Pondo is Bull Bronson, Cash
MDK.
Gordon, Diamond. MDK was on
all
our first
fucking day, baby.
We have, and that's not the end of the list. We also had Billy Sparks.
That's right.
Sean Campbell.
Starks.
I apologize. Yeah. Starks. Freudian slip. Sorry.
Sean Campbell, AJ Gray, Merck, Anakin Murphy, Jacques Kennedy, Stonewall, Big Bull Bronson, former NWA Mid-South Heavyweight Champion. Motherfucker, AFU Hardcore brings noise.
Also, we don't do the fireworks on the crotch because that's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, well, there's also a zoning thing.
Also, we did have somebody set their fire on,
Set their leg on fire and throw a super kick.
and super kick somebody to our last show. So check it out.
Yeah, check us out on IWTV. Either way, it's time for birthdays.
And bullshit.
Max, take it
All
away.
right, we got a relatively short list this week.
Story of my life.
We got. We're going to start out though today.
He said short list.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Once again, if that were the case. I'm not saying the rest of that joke on here, but you know.
See this gray hair?
Yeah.
Case.
I think I covered most of today last week. I'm
Uh-huh.
going to go tomorrow. Tomorrow on the 9th, we have 3 birthdays.
All right, let's hear it.
We got Molina, Rick Steiner, and Tiger Ali Singh.
All right, Molina. We'll break this down first. Molina, 45 years old.
I'm gonna say 46 because I think she's a little older.
How about 44?
Damn.
Wow.
We were
Damn.
close, bro. We
No
were close.
point.
Who was the second one?
Rick Steiner.
Rick Steiner, 60.
63.
No, hold on. Rick Steiner is 72 years old.
63.
10 years off, Luke. He's 62 years old.
Damn.
Son of a
I
bitch.
almost said
That was
62.
so close.
Don't
Whatever.
smoke, bad for you.
The last one for tomorrow, Tiger Ali Singh.
Tiger Ali Singh's in his 70s. Got to be 70. At least. Wait a minute, Tyler. Hold on. I can't ask him because I can't clarify, but there was 2 Ali Singhs in
Next
WWE.
week, I
we'll
might
see.
be able to show pictures.
Yeah.
I'm 50. I'm
Hold on. Is it the young Ali Singh?
I
or
don't
is
know.
the
We're gonna
old
find
one?
out. I'm saying.
What'd
50.
you go with? 50? I'm going to go with 61. Just in
Should
case.
pick 51. He'll be 52.
Okay. So it was the younger.
First
Woo!
one goes
It was
to
the
Bill.
younger Ali
You're damn
Singh.
right it does.
The dude that used to come out and do the $1 Million
Yes.
Man gimmick. Yeah.
Then
And
on the
feed people
10th,
weird shit.
on the 10th, we're going to reach way back all the way to the Jurassic period. It's the Luchasaurus.
44.
That fucking idiot who got Hugh Morris fired.
Right?
I'm
I'm going to say 44.
I don't care. Maybe. Well,
He's been around a while. Even not as Luchasaurus.
I'm going to
He's
say
been around
40.
How about he'll be 38?
Damn it. That's what I was
You
going to
guys
say.
suck
God
today.
damn.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Gotta ask, how do people take extreme pain and just get back
Just
up?
what we do, baby.
Well, partner, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Most of that's adrenaline. Luke and I have been collectively in the professional wrestling business for
really
collectively
long time.
30 plus years.
A really long time.
You got all 3 of us in there. 30, definitely 30.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's all adrenaline. And regardless of what happens to you in the moment, number one, you recognize you got a job to do. You got people to entertain. You got people who paid for it. But it's all adrenaline. It's you get back up and the blood's flowing and you don't even realize you're hurting.
It all hurts.
You don't realize you've blown a rotator cuff off of a bad German suplex until you got to the bar afterward and went to show all your friends the world title you just won and realized you couldn't lift your left arm.
Mhm.
And then you couldn't lift your left arm for 6 weeks.
Not that.
It's a
Well,
lot
no,
like
Ryan, wait
not
till
that not that it's ever occurred.
What's the score, Max?
1-0, bitch.
1-0 game.
All right.
All right, on the 11th, we got Pitbull number 1, Gary Wolf.
Ooh.
He's up there now.
He's older than you think. Yeah.
60.
54.
That's what I was going to say first. You're in my head.
How about 56?
Point. I was going to say 54 first.
54 is 44 more than what is the number, Luke?
Answer is 9.
No, it's 8.
No.
Yes, I was testing you.
9.
It's 9.
And that's a magic number.
All right, you.
All right.
Jack Black,
Oh.
former wrestler.
On the 12th, we remember Mae Young,
Let's start with me.
1923, 2014.
Mae Young, one of the greatest, most hard-hitting women in professional wrestling.
She looked at Bully Ray when she was 70 years old and said, Bully, if you're going to slam me, you better slam me like one of the boys. None of this pussy shit.
Yep. That was
Also-
right before the powerbomb, wasn't it?
Yes. Also, in numerous occasions, would be found playing cards with the boys, smoking cigars in the locker room, not completely naked, but in her bustier because she did not give a fuck.
Also, the breasts that you saw that year at the Royal Rumble were fake.
And most people don't know this.
They were
Before
fake.
she was a wrestler, and after her shorter 10-year wrestling career in the beginning, was a female truck driver. in an economy in which that never happened in the 60s.
Also,
and 70s.
when she was younger, she was a knockout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was. Mae Young, rest in peace. You single-handedly put the Dudley Boys on the WWE.
Also
ranking.
has some weird connection to Rubel Clanahan from the Golden Girls, which I can never remember, but they know each other or knew each other. Anyway, go ahead.
Having the honor of sharing that birthday would be Hideo Itami, also known as
Hideo Itami, also known as Kenta.
Kenta.
yes.
Yes.
Kenta! He's
Kenta.
43.
Kenta, 30.
I'm saying 43.
Oh,
I think he's up in his 40s now.
I'm going to say 40.
How about 42? Point lead.
Son of a bitch.
I didn't think he was quite that old, but I knew he had broke 40 at least.
Got
Also, if they don't book Kenta and CM Punk at the Forbidden Door, they're making a terrible,
Do
egregious
you
fucking
guys
mistake.
use cars in your matches? Yes, it has happened once or twice.
Yeah.
Madman Pondo's automobile, to be exact.
That is correct.
His brand new automobile.
My guy, just check us out on IWTV. You can see all the good stuff.
You can check us out right here on YouTube.
It's true. AFU Hardcore Undisclosed. Max,
all right, let's go to
what's the score? 2-0, 2-1?
2-1. Luke.
Okay.
On the 13th, we will have Matt Jackson.
Ooh.
He's
Okay.
37.
Matt Jackson's 38 years old.
38 years
On the
old.
button. Damn.
Matt is the oldest.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nick's
Nick's
the
the
other.
oldest. Yeah. Only by like a year or two.
Which is funny because both Matts are the older brothers.
Yeah.
On the 14th, we have Wrath.
Wrath was also known as Adam Bomb. His real name's
yeah.
Brian Adams.
Who's what? Isn't he passed away?
No,
now?
he did not pass away.
He's- okay,
Brian
he's-
Clark.
Brian
passed
Clark
away,
passed away. Okay. So
who was Crush.
he'd
for those of
be got to be in his 50s or 60s by now.
I just
think.
seen him at a convention, and believe it or not, he still looks like he can go. I'm going to say 56.
I'm going to say a little younger, 51.
How about 59?
Damn.
He will be Point Luke.
He looks good as fuck, too, dude. Also,
You're killing me.
hold on before we go on. I was watching the Ethan Page vlog, Max, the other night. Last night, I was bored and looking through old vlogs and shit. Mikey is on Ethan Page's blog.
Armarky? No shit.
Yeah, Mikey is in the background during one of the WrestleMania weekends that
That's
they
awesome.
went down to do shows.
Nice.
Mikey and Jason O'Reilly, Joey.
Oh, Joey O'Reilly.
Yep, both
I
of
got
them
stories
together.
about him for days.
But I thought that would be prudent to mention. You can see Mikey on
That's
and
awesome.
fight.
got lots of stories about Joey.
Last wrestling birthday
Okay.
on the 14th will be Santino Morera.
Older than you think he is.
Yeah, because
His daughter just signed.
He was in his 30s when he signed out of OVW in 05. So he'd be
46.
I want to say old. I'm gonna say 47 because I think he's a little older.
49. Good call, Luke.
Caleb.
Caleb.
Thank you very much.
All right, where are we set?
Luke, I apologize for calling him you.
Well, sometimes shit happens.
I'll beat him with you.
That's okay. We can clean that shit up off the floor
I'm
later.
the toughest man to let it
All right, how about let's move into this handful of celebrity
What's the
birthdays
score?
I got.
What is this?
5-2?
4-2
4-2.
going into celebrity birthdays.
Me or you?
We
Am
don't
I in the
have
lead?
any. So
Yeah.
we don't have any videos of us wrestling on this channel. This channel is
Go to
specifically.
RCW.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
This channel is specifically to promote Pro Wrestling Throwdown, which
Correct.
is our podcast. You can check us out in various ways if you search our working names, which we're not going to plug because we don't want that to conflict with our views
No.
now.
Okay.
No.
However, hit us up on Facebook. We'll shoot you some links at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling.
Yes. Also, while you're there, don't forget to like.
Yes, and subscribe. As you say.
All right.
You can even see Max Fury wrestle on some of those.
Uh-huh.
I see Max Fury take the nastiest power bomb anybody ever fucking gave him. You're welcome.
It was tasty.
Probably.
Fucking tasty. Hell yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
all right,
I
celebrity
don't
birthdays.
remember a lot of that because, like we said, a lot of it's adrenaline.
Yeah, it
That-
really is.
That and I dropped you on your fucking head.
Might have something to do with it.
Could have been a throwback to that. Whatever. That's
all
when
right.
we were like 19.
Yeah.
That's
Y'all
how
were.
long.
Well, you
long
were.
I was
ago
still
it
old.
was.
I was still old as
Believe
shit.
it or not, Caleb's the baby.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
look it, but that's because of hard living and. Well, we don't have to get into that.
Excessive living.
Excessive living is a good way to put it. Anyway, Max, you were saying.
All right. Tomorrow.
That's good. I'm gonna coin that
I'm using
t-shirt.
it. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Tomorrow, Rosario Dawson
Oh, man, Rosario Dawson is so beautiful.
So she's older than people think she is.
I'm going to say 46. I think I'm about right there. Could be wrong.
She was in, let me see, in 04, she was.
In Clerks in 05. Clerks 2.
105, she was already doing Rent, and she would have been 22 or 23, so that would have been 17 years ago. That'd put her 41, I'll say.
46.
Oh, 43.
Yeah.
Caleb.
I knew she was younger then. What's the worst beating you guys have ever gotten in wrestling or in real life?
I was about to say my first and second ex-wives were pretty good beating.
Yeah.
Just
in
saying.
professional wrestling, well, to be totally honest, I didn't take a whole lot of beatings. In real life, when I was 21 years old, I decided that my favorite game was to jump out of husbands' windows. And one night, a whole bunch of those husbands found me at a bar and beat dog shit out of me.
Worst beating I ever took in professional wrestling?
It's true.
Shit.
Can't be helped.
I guess would be the...
We're bumping for me.
I guess the tag match, me and you against Coach and Power Play in
Are you sure
Grand
it wasn't you in Power Play versus me and Spade? Because
It
I
was a pretty
believe
good
we
beating,
whooped
but I
your
got-
asses.
If we're talking about beatings, I actually got hurt in Grand Chamber
Yeah,
with
that's fair.
my shoulder out.
That's fair.
So I'm going to say that one.
Oh, actually, no, I can take that back. The worst beating I ever got in wrestling was when Jose and I started the riot after I crucified him in front of all the Mexicans
RPW.
on like Cinco de Mayo. And they rushed the ring and wanted to kill little Caleb Black. Actually, I was KB Chaser at the time.
That's why he changed his name. We don't know anything about witness protection.
Never
but
heard
we
of
know
it.
that's something about witness protection.
Anyway,
All right. How about also on the 9th, the Piano Man, Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
79 years old.
God, he's old. I want to say that even sounds close to right. 77. I'll go a little
How
younger.
about 73?
73.
Oh, wow.
Younger than I thought.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to the 10th, another great musician.
I'd be heartbroken, but I'm in the lead, so I can care less.
Yeah,
as long as you don't
yeah.
get
I can
points.
tell you're so upset about it.
Another great musician on the 10th will be Bono.
Oh, God.
Fuck Bono.
60.
You remember when? Hold on. Do you remember that cocksucker had Apple upload his album to all of the phones back in like
Hold on.
2013?
I got a better one for you. So he's at this concert, right? Over in Ireland.
Yeah.
And he gets on stage. This is something that I heard from Robin Williams. A story from Robin Williams. Robin Williams was there, and he starts getting on stage. He starts going into his whole. He goes, every time I clap my hands, somewhere in the world, a child dies of starvation. And some Irish guy, drunk, I'm sure, from the audience screams, "Quit clapping your fucking hands!" That's a true story.
Hey, yo. Fuck that bitch. All right. Anyway, Bono, who gives a shit? 70. I don't care.
I'm gonna go with 71.
How about 62?
He's old as shit.
Fuck him. Fuck Bono.
Here's the deal. First
Fuck
off,
Bono. Fuck Yoko.
hold on. When it comes to you two, the only edge that I fucking respond to is the one on WWE. I don't know who the fuck that guy is that plays guitar.
Also on the 10th.
However, that cannot be applied to Sting.
No, of course not. Well, that's because Sting and the other Sting actually have a $1 royalty check that Sting, the wrestler, gets paid $1 from Sting, the musician, every year to retain the rights to the name Sting.
It also helps that they're friends in real life,
Yep.
which is super cool.
Which is why it was only a gentleman's
$1.
bet.
Yep.
$1.
What's the most craziest thing you've ever seen in wrestling? Ooh, I saw a guy. We did an outside brawl, and there was a cat who took a pile driver from the top of the venue to a parking lot, and the pile driver landed in a truck bed. But the truck bed was full of like work tools and shit. It was like some what was it, workman's construction.
That was Sick Nick,
fight match or
Sick
some
Nick
shit.
Mondo, right?
Yeah, and he took a pile driver from the top of the roof into a truck bed.
Craziest thing I ever seen. You can actually go on and find it on YouTube or on Facebook's where I saw it the first time. The kid that's in the Battle Royal, right? They're down to 2.
Yeah.
One of the kids is holding on to the steel post on the outside of the ring to try to keep himself up from. Other dude goes to the top rope and does a jump like a 450 or a moonsault. I'm sorry. And his idea was he was going to hit this guy off the post.
And then he bounced
misses
off the
him
post.
by a fucking mile.
Yeah.
Missed him by a mile and crashes into the ground
Yeah.
there, giving the win to the guy who wasn't.
I didn't see that one live, and I thought that's what he was talking about. Anyway, next.
All right. Let's see. What's that? Also on the 10th, we have Kenan Thompson.
Kenan Thompson's my age. I'm going to guess. I'm going to say 39.
I would say he's a little older than that.
I don't think so.
I'm going to say 40. Just
How about 44?
Yeah.
Wow. He's that old? Fuck.
Also, I guess I could have said the craziest thing I've ever seen in wrestling was Tojo Yamamoto Jr. actually working.
Or Davey Richards actually showing up. Here's the deal. Fuck you. If you have a problem with what I'm saying, if for some reason you're watching, show up to a fucking show once in a while.
I've seen that fucking spot with the guy who set his balls on fire. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, if Davey Richards has got a problem with it, come see me. I ain't going to hold my fucking breath because you can't show up the date you're paid for, so fuck you.
I'll fight him, I guess.
How about let's go to the 12th?
Yeah.
Let's go to Emilio Estevez, Bing Reigns. A few more. Let's start there.
Old and older.
Emilio Estevez has got to be in his
Fans have spoken.
60s by now, one would think.
Who we going with first?
Emilio Estevez?
Emilio Estevez is probably
I'm going to say in his 60. I'll just say 60 flat point.
62.
How about 60 on the nose?
60, yeah.
I knew he was up there. I knew he was up there.
5-4. Caleb took the lead.
Oh, bitch!
It happens.
All right.
Fat
also,
McKendo
on the
stick,
12th.
bitch!
So 3 more on the 12th. We have Bing Reigns,
Ooh.
He's way older than you think he is.
Diamond Dog,
Ving Rhames.
They have the meats, you know.
58?
Ving Rhames, I'm gonna go 59.
yeah, 63.
63.
I
Got
was
it.
gonna say
Luke,
62,
tighten
but I
up.
wanted to prices right you.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
It's called
also,
strategy.
You price is right, son of a bitch.
2 more on the 12th. We have Stephen Baldwin and Jason Biggs, the pie fucker.
Okay, Stephen
Pie
Baldwin
fucker.
is Stephen Baldwin is
The youngest of the Baldwins.
yeah, he was what Barney in the second Flintstones,
He's
right?
also on Biodome.
Biodome, Polly Shore.
Fled.
Well, I think he'd be in the 60s now too, wouldn't he? If not late 50s. I'll say 60, just as an easy.
I'm gonna say
Because
he's
he would have been in his 30s in the
58.
90s.
No, 56.
Damn.
No point.
To answer your question, do we host our own tournaments or are you guys like a company? Depends on what you're talking about.
Okay, so
What you're watching right now is a brand.
yes,
This is a brand of journalism for lack of a better term.
so this particular channel is a vlog, a vidcast, whatever you want to call it, where we cover wrestling news throughout the week. We cover current events in wrestling. We talk about we do throwbacks all the way to 1970s, 60s territory wrestling, the Attitude Era, whatever sparks our interest at the time. We do lists.
With the update of the current format that we're going to be having here pretty soon, we're also going to start doing Skype interviews
Yeah.
with professionals. I mean, we're going to bring a lot of stuff to you. in the
As
next
far
coming
as
year.
like a company, Pro Wrestling Throwdown is its own entity. However, Luke and I are the commentators for AFU Hardcore.
That is a company.
Yes, that's the company that we represent when in wrestling.
This is affiliated yet
Yeah.
loosely.
We're both retired, former independent professional. Well, one retired, one semi-retired independent professional wrestlers.
Three,
who,
technically.
Yeah, technically, yeah. Who decided that we would put together a show
Technically, shit.
to talk
I
about
wrestled my ass off.
He did.
to talk about wrestling and to well, if you know AFU Hardcore, then we are the voices behind the camera.
Yes.
So thank you so much for your patronage.
Yes. And also thank you for your like and subscribe.
Yes.
Also, rest of the people watching right now or at home later today
I
or
need
whatever.
to go and double check that
Yes,
the
go.
familial responsibilities
Add,
are on the way. If you guys want
subscribe,
to vamp for just a second.
like, all that good stuff.
There's my butt. You're welcome.
Thank you.
America.
Appreciate that.
That's
Appreciate
America's
the
ass.
crotch face. Appreciate it.
That's America.
But no, yeah, you can join us every Sunday, 2:15, right here on Pro Wrestling Throwdown on YouTube. Like I said, in the next coming, not even really year, the next coming months, we're going to do an overhaul. Production's going to get better. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff to do. We're going to play a lot of games. And, of course, our point race is basically what we're really known for on YouTube is the points race. The pay-per-view points, the tally at the end of the year, and the punishments. Punishments can be fun. Check out was it 2 weeks after WrestleMania we did the punishment video?
I think so.
Where Caleb had to sing the praises of Danhausen. And then these two had to insult each other whenever I wanted them to. It's hilarious. It's fun. How do you find these wrestlers? Do you hire them or are they friends and family? Both. Interview-wise, there would be compensation because here's the deal. We're professionals. This is how we make our living. Any wrestler that comes on our show either A, did it to promote themselves and did it on their own dime, or B, with the future calls and the Skype calls and broadcasts and stuff. They will be compensated for their time. Also, we're not going to have gimmicked interviews. We want wrestlers to speak from them, not the characters they play.
Now,
None of that.
Referring to Anna Hardcore, that's we can't speak for
We
that.
don't do the booking for Anna Hardcore or AFU.
We simply work with them to try to put on a good show.
Yes, we do what we can in our position that we have been hired for. But yes,
Sorry about that.
in the future, Skype, yes,
We got family
wrestlers
coming
will
around
be in
here
person.
soon, so gotta make sure
Welcome back.
dinners and such are on the way.
Do not smoke. It's bad for you.
Yep.
Maximus,
Terrible.
continue with your list.
All right.
Continue with me kicking your ass,
you
you
guys
guys.
do
Finish
good.
off the
Thank you.
12th
Thank
with
you.
The pie fucker, Jason Biggs. The American pie fucker.
45.
46.
How about 44?
Damn. What's the score right now?
Still in the lead.
5 to 5.
5-5.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left.
All right.
All right, and we're going to start that off. On the 13th, we'll have the Batman, Robert Pattinson.
Robert
He's
Pattinson
not the Batman, but he's the
I think
Batman.
it's-
is
Sure,
38
don't
years old.
39.
Robert Pattinson will be 36.
36,
years old.
damn, a little old.
A little bit
Well, he
more.
was in his 20s when he did Twilight.
Mhm.
What'd you
was-
say?
I said 38. He said,
I said 39.
Old.
We were both off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also on the 13th, I love this guy so much. Harvey Keitel.
Oh, wow.
who?
Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel.
Give me a body of work.
Well, he was in Reservoir Dogs. He was in
The old man in Reservoir Dogs.
I don't remember.
He was also in From Dusk Till Dawn. He played the Reverend guy.
Yeah. Okay, I don't have to look it
The
up.
guy driving the RV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
75.
70.
How about 83?
Damn.
Holding the lead.
Now, Harvey Keitel has been in.
He's been in 1,000 different
Yeah.
movies.
Fantastic.
He's a lot like Merle. He shows up.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Shows up.
Also,
Actually, I believe they were in a film together numerous
They
times.
probably were.
2 more on the 13th. We have Stevie Wonder
Hold on.
and Stephen Colbert.
Let's go
Hold
ahead
on
and do
one-
these. So let's go
Yeah,
ahead and
let's
do
answer
all.
these.
Okay.
We'll answer
Let
your
us
question.
answer these
Yeah.
birthdays
Okay,
real
go ahead.
quick, and then we'll get into that question.
Stevie Wonder's 77.
Stevie Wonder is 70. You know what? Stevie Wonder is 12 years old.
Point by default.
I don't know why I didn't think about doing that ahead of time.
Stevie Wonder will be 72 years old.
That is a bullshit fucking deal, but I'll accept it because those are the rules. How dare you?
I've been waiting to do that for weeks. I have. I've been waiting to do that for weeks.
Weird part is even he could have seen that coming.
Yeah, you're really cool.
Oh!
I mean, there is a picture of him taking a picture of Michael
Stephen
Jackson.
Colbert.
Stephen Colbert.
Colbert is older than most people give him credit for.
50?
52.
58.
50. Wow. Colbert's almost 60. Well, yeah, he was on the
Yeah, he was old when he first
he was on
started.
the
Yeah.
Today Show for or the
The
Tonight
Daily
Show.
Daily Show.
85 with 2 left.
Damn, I can't catch up.
If you can get both of these, I'll give you the win.
All right, let's see what happens.
All right. On the 14th, we have George Lucas and Timothy Roth.
Tim Roth. Okay.
Go with George Lucas first, then I'll explain.
Timothy Roth is in Reservoir
Go
Dogs.
ahead.
Yeah.
He's the undercover cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George
He was
Lucas.
also in-
He's got to be in his 70s by now, yeah?
Yeah, at least.
73?
12. I'm kidding. I'm actually going to do this the right way. George Lucas said, what did you say? Caleb?
I said 73.
75.
George George Lucas will be 78 years old.
Oh, you got
That's
it.
mine. Then I got it.
Okay.
Maximus.
Yeah, we gotta tie this up.
We gotta tie this up.
Right. All right. Timothy Roth
Timothy Roth,
68.
will be
50.
Point Caleb.
No, we'll take it.
61 years old. Luke wins 9-6. I gotta close it off there. I'll save my bullshit for next week. We gotta shut some things down.
Yeah,
here.
we gotta get going here. We got
All right.
family coming in for
Before
Mother's
we
Day.
head out, don't forget to like, subscribe,
Yes,
comment.
please do.
Also, you can find us at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling
You
Throwdown.
can follow us on Twitter on Pro Wrestling TD. You can also find us on Gmail at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. Send us an email. Make sure you like, subscribe, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. Sorry we got to cut it short. My family's here. It's Mother's Day. We got celebrations going on. So check us out next Sunday.
Hope to see you back.
Absolutely. And as always, from us to you, happy Mother's Day and keep it in the ring.
There's never no dog day or nothing.
Well, no,
It's messed
you
up.
can have a dog day.
Yeah, I mean, can I make that today?
No, today's a different day.